Hey, it's Nigel Hall from Lettuce reporting live from the Riviera Theater in Chicago, Illinois, and this is the Rig Rundown. A lot of people ask me what I use a lot of the time. Some people kind of know, but this rig here is a very roadworthy rig because a lot of it is, I like to use old shit. Old shit is where it is for me. Because it's the real earthy and organic sound. They all things need to be, all the sounds that I use need to breathe. They need to be as human as I am. For instance, this organ, we'll start here. So this is the organ. This is not a real organ. This is a Hammond XK3. I would prefer a real one. But this does the job. It's light, and the people who have to carry it don't hate me because they don't have to carry a A100 upstairs every night and down the stairs. So I'm thankful for that. But that time is dwindling down for them. But this organ is, for instance, talking about moving and breathing. If I say, for instance, I play a chord, I'll play my favorite chord. Pedal. So what it does is you can swell things, add a little bit more motion, and it has no organ is complete without a Leslie speaker, which does this. Hey, come around here, get in there and see that. You see that the speaker speeds up. Work the Leslie, you can play stuff. You know what I'm saying? Give you that woo. But it's moving. It's always moving. There's always something. There's always some sort of motion and emotion that comes from that. So, and then when I really want to get loud, I can go. Stuff like that, so you can really get. That's what that. That does. That helps a lot with it. But you can also, the cool thing about it too is you can break it, which means that you can stop that from spinning, and it'll sound. It's just straight, but it's kind of got that kind of spooky feel, like you. You know what I mean? You get that thing going, and so that's that. That's the organ, and you got different sounds, and these things right here, drawbars, and they deal with different harmonics of the note. You know what I'm saying? So pull some of them out. Get different tones, See what I'm saying? You get different tones of that. So yeah, that's that. This right here is the Hohner Clavinet V6. This is they made these intentionally. When they made them, they kind of made them as electric harpsichords. So you would play. I can't play none of this shit, but for instance, if you want to play. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Because it has there's actually strings inside of here. And on the bottom of each of these notes is a rubber hammer mallet that taps the strings. Like for instance, you've seen a guitar player tap. It's the same thing. But it's just all under, you got however many keys it is, you got that many, there's a string for every key. But then somebody figured out that, it's got strings and it's a keyboard, and they found a wah pedal. There it is. And so, I realized I could do. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's funky as shit. So you can do all kinds of shit, you know. And I usually like to use a little slapback on there so I can go. You know what I mean? And then I have a whole bunch of like stuff. Make it interesting, you know. Little phaser. When I really want to get weird. And, you know, like when I really need to make a point. This is just, well, I mean, my pedals are always in. This is a revolving door. I may not use the same pedals all the time, but this is just a flashback delay, just a simple delay. For instance, there's a song we do called Schmink Dabby Kane, and I use that for this sound. And then this here is just a slapback. I think. Yeah, add this. You know, so that's also a delay, but it's a digital delay, and I just use it for slapback. It's nothing real too special about it, but it works when I need it. This is just a phaser pedal, just to add more effect. As we go on with this thing here, you'll see that I love phaser pedals, because I probably have one on every keyboard here. But just the vibe of it, it's a moving sound. It's something that's moving. Like you can slow it down. Well, you can, slow it down and speed it up. Control the depth. That's actually a good sound right there. Stuff like that. This is the fucking Psycho. That's a Psycho machine, and this is just a micro amp because I'm not using a Clav amp right now because I blew my last one. So this one is less damageable. So I'm just using this until I get a new. But this actually has been working out pretty good, but it's not going to last long because I'm going to blow that thing too. So there's that. That's the clavinet. This is George Duke. This is my teacher and master of all keyboards. He's the greatest. I urge any of you who don't know who he is, check him out. All right, we're gonna go over here because I want to save the best for last. So this is my Nord Electro 3. Again, this is just a traveling rig. It's easy to set up. Everything I need is easy and accessible. I could essentially get everything that I have up here with me on this keyboard, but I'm not a one keyboard type of person. I generally like to just set it and forget it, and this can make the same sounds as a lot of these, but nothing sounds like the real thing. And I would urge anybody, if you can afford the real thing and want to go through and want to deal with the hassle of dealing with the real thing, just do it. Save yourself a whole bunch of misery, because I've been on a lot of gigs that I haven't had what I really wanted and just been pissed the whole time. So, all right, so I generally just use this for my string ensemble, for like vibe. Or better yet, I'll go. And this is my Wurlitzer, which is an electric piano, so I'll have some strings running like that, and I'll play. And then I'll play, I can also play chords on this too. And I also use it for, grand piano sounds. A lot of reverb on that. Just regular old grand piano. But I particularly like just CP70 sound. A lot of reverb on that too. But I got in the sample library a bunch of strings, different types of strings, little Mellotron voice. We do when we play. So that's what that is. All right, and this is obviously the Wurlitzer, which is electric piano. This is for those of you who know anything about Wurlitzers. This is the Ray Charles. This is what Ray played on What I Say. So it's this, and it has a, it's really dirty and gritty. And it also has vibrato on this too. So I can have a straight sound, or just have one that kind of goes in and out and stuff like that. But yeah, Wurlitzer, I love it. This pedal down here was given to me by a really close friend of mine. His name is Steve Swaggins. He is a keyboard player. He's one of my closest friends in the world. He's one of the greatest keyboard players in the world. And I was at his house, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, man, what is this? Because it's a multi-effects pedal. It has an envelope filter, it has a phaser, it has a fuzz, it has an octave pedal, reverb, and delay, all in one little teeny strip like that. So, it helps to have something easy like that, because you don't have to carry around a pedal board. You can just put that in your backpack and show up to whatever gig you have with it. And it works for guitar too. It's just like a regular pedal. You plug it in, and you got six effects waiting for you, And it's really, really cool. It comes in handy at a lot of the time. And these are just my sustain pedals for the whirling. And and generally a lot of the time, I don't know if a lot of people I don't think really can see what's going on back here, but I'll have my foot on this to hold something here, and I'll be over here, over here. It's a really physical gig, believe it or not. People think you're just back here sitting down, not doing shit. There's a lot going on back here. All right, so these control my Rhodes. This reverb, space echo. I have a chorus, and I also have a phaser, another phaser. We're back to that again. But this right here, the Fender Rhodes, is the vein of my existence. Every gig that you have seen me on, whether in my control or not, I've always had a Fender Rhodes there. And every gig that you see me on in the future, there will be one. This is just the greatest, to me, it is the greatest invention in the world, because I've never heard anything that really resonated my spirit the way that it does. Herbie Hancock, George Duke, Chick Corea, Patrice Rushen, Joe Sample. I mean, these are people who revolutionized this instrument. It has a lot of different options. This right here, this is one of 4 that I own. I have this one out because it's the most roadworthy and it's the newest one. They have since discontinued them, but it's the newest one, and it's the Mark 7. And I bring it out because it's more roadworthy. But you know, I've been kind of wanting to go back to some of the old ones, but it doesn't matter. It's a Rhodes is a Rhodes is a Rhodes. Yeah, let me just play something for you so you can hear what it sounds like. Actually, let's go back to this vibe here. Let's just go back to the vibe here. I'll give you into how this is made. So now I have that could have been a little neater, but whatever. I got volume, low, mid, and high. I like a Rhodes with bite, so I can do shit like this. You know what I mean? That's and then still be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Something real mellow, just. I can go. I still get that, you know. And the cool thing about the Space Echo is I can do this. I can do shit like this. You know, making noise out this motherfucker. That's right. So yeah, so the Rhodes is because, and it's only one sound, but there's so many worlds of it, even without effects. Now I had the vibrato on. Now the vibrato, or the tremolo it's called here, but it's vibrato is what it actually is. And what it does is when you pull the switch, well, just on this one, there's another one that has another. It's a whole nother thing. You pull it, so say I have this. It's off now, so you just have the regular sound. When I pull the switch, you got ping pongs back and forth, stereo vibrato. And you can adjust the intensity, you know, make it really wide. The speed, you can do the speed, you know. Now, with these pedals, this is my phaser pedal. This is the one I love the most. You know what I mean? It's such a vibe, too, you know? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. We can go all kinds of ways with that. You can obviously speed that up, slow that down. The rate of it. This is my chorus pedal. This is a lot of people don't like this pedal, but I don't care because they're not buying my gear. And it kind of adds a shimmer, you know. I have to be careful because if the high end is too high on here, it'll feed back because there's a lot of. I'll tell you, this is the best way to differentiate the two. The orange one, the phaser, is 1970s. Right? And this is 1980s. You know, you can hear it. And I also have a reverb for that, which just makes it kind of sound like, you know, it's like, you know, just give it some vibe, you know. Now, if this fucking thing would just stay on for 2 seconds. Come on, Jesus. There we go. All right. Now this is the Arp Odyssey synthesizer. This is what I call the George Duke machine. A lot of y'all know that I love George Duke, and George Duke in his early years used the Arp Odyssey over the mini mode purely to be different from Jan Hammer. Jan Hammer is the keyboard player, or was the keyboard player for the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and he also did records with Jeff Beck and whatnot, and he made his debut as a keyboard player debuting the mini mode, which I would also have here if I had the money for one. I'm working towards that right now, but this really is all I need. I'm really in love with this thing, and it allows me to explore different areas that none of these other keyboards can really do because of my ability to bend the notes and express the notes as a singer would or as a guitar player would. For instance, I would go, you know what I mean? Play it like a guitar. And I got a little delay here so that if I want to add more vibe. And also, one of the things I really do like about it too is that it has this thing, the noise generator, where it's just white noise. So, for instance, it's just this is. But if you add a phaser, I have a phaser on this too. Thing about it too, like if, for instance, if I'm doing like fade it away. You know what I mean? Like, that's some cold shit. But yeah, that's basically it. That's everything I use. Everything here has a purpose. And it looks like, you know, I'm back here just banging on stuff just for kicks, you know, but there's really a place for everything here. And one of the main things to learn when you have this many options is the keyboard player of any band, the biggest responsibility for a keyboard player is to listen, because, and really for anybody in anywhere, in either life or music, is listen, because if you're listening, the music generally tells you where you need to go. As a keyboard player, as keyboard players, we have the responsibility sometimes to play lead, harmony, and melody, sometimes all at the same time. And you have to kind of really know the potential of everything that you have so that you can make those right decisions. If you want to see me crush this gear live at any time, you can go to our website. We got a new record out called Elevate that we would love you to check out. And it's funky, and I'm using all of this stuff plus some on that record. Y'all should have seen my rig in the studio. That was just insane. Like I think I had all of this plus a grand piano and a few other. I think I had like 10 keyboards. I was just surrounded. I was like a pig in shit. It was great. But yeah, check us out. and we will be in a town near you with all of this stuff, and then you can come see how it sounds for yourself.